What's up, guys? Holding Alice with you. Here bringing you High School Girl review, episode 9 and 10. Both episodes came out this week, since last week they was like on pause. So we got double episode this week, so I'm gonna do another double review, like I did with 6 and 7. But yeah, we have a lot to go through. This video might be pretty long, so just letting you know now. But episode 9 begins with like best mother of the series of all time, Haru's mother. I love her character every time she's on screen because she's just hilarious and she brings more life and realistic to the show. You have her and Haru eating at the dinner table, and she brings up the fact that the Street Fighter movie is coming out, Street Fighter 2, and she's like, "You want to go together, you and me, a mother and son date?" And he was like, "Mom, what high school student does that? No, I don't want to go with you." So she sounds fine. She starts screaming at him. She goes to the next room, and it's funny because she's just throwing a tantrum, saying if I would have had a daughter, we could have been able to do cute things like this and stuff like that. And she was just mumbling other stuff, and it was funny but cute but realistic at the same time. So I'm just bawling my eyes out, just laughing at it. But after that, we find Haru, he goes to school and whatever, and he starts realizing that after middle school, of course, comes high school, and he realizes that Haru realizes that Ono will be alone, because so far her only friend has been Haru. So, and you have this thing where he's like, how can I put it? Where he's studying. Like, we actually see him in this episode studying. And it's like, it's weird. Like, excuse me if I have my notes right here, but after he realizes that, Anna's his only friend, they go, they start going out, and they don't go out like in a date, but he goes out with Anna, and he starts, they start playing in the arcades and whatever, and they start, they're doing their regular thing, just playing. But something weird happens. Usually, when Haru wins a game, Ono gets mad and she hits him and she leaves. He notices that she's not doing that. So, they just continue to play games, have fun. They took the lunch break, continue playing, lunch break again, so forth, so forth. And also, there's also a scene where Haru's butler, not Haru, I'm sorry, Ano's butler came and picked up and was like trying to drag her off. And Haru was like, "Hey, it looks like you're kidnapping her. Stop it. You're embarrassing us. And there's also, you're making commotion here that's against the rules here." He's like, here's some money and go play some game. And I think it's called Patrono or something like that. I'm probably butchering the name, but then we have this scene where he's doing like the crab dance, the butler, and he's saying, "Yay, Pacino, Pacino," and he's just dancing while singing it like a crab just moving up the street to play that game. So that was funny. But yeah, after all this, they start playing I think the fighting game is called Darksiders or Darkstellars. It's a very old fighting game. It's actually a fighting game that I used to enjoy when I was a kid. I had completely forgot about it until, watching this. But they start playing, and they're having basically a good time and whatnot. And then things turn like kind of not bad, but I would say kind of sad, because Haru brings up the fact that to Anna that we probably won't be able to do this as much as when we get into high school, since there's no way I can be able to go to your high school, since she's going to like this top-notch rich high school type deal thing, and we know Haru was like horrible at grades, so he won't be able to make it in. So he's rumbling about this, and you see Anna's face go from happy to like sad and depressed, like how she usually looks when she's like not with them. So, but yeah, that after that they they get in the car like, I wouldn't say get in the car, but like after all this happens and she gets in the car and she drives off, the next morning, Haru admits to himself, I gotta do better. I want to try to go to that school, blah blah blah. Etc. In the dialogue, and when he leaves, the butler picks him up, and this is Anno's butler, and he's like, she goes to the arcade. Excuse me, stab code. The butler tells him, hey, Arno goes to the arcade a lot to meet you because you're her mental support. You're the only person she has to go to, and stuff like that. And he's basically throwing hints that Arno likes him, but he was like, he didn't catch on because he's young. But he does admit to himself, in a dialogue that he does want to be with her. He likes being around her. So the butler opens up the car door, and he's like, come on, let me take you down to, the school. And Arno's, of course, in the car as well, so they talking and so forth. And it's awesome because when they, like, in the car, they're not looking at each other, they're looking at their own windows, Arno and Haru, and the butler he's driving, but you can tell, like, from his eyes that he's looking at, like, the mirror view, he's checking on them. And, Haru comes out of nowhere and he starts talking to Arno, saying how, stuff like, I like being in the arcades, and I hate how everything is evolving too quickly, and I don't want to get left behind by the way the game system's evolving and by how you're going far away. So I want to try to catch up and go to your school and stuff like that. And then this is when things get really, if you're a fan of both Haru and Arno, this might excite you. If not, then this probably will upset you. But then you get this one scene where, like, he's talking and she just grabs his hand and she holds on to it and she's smiling, and he wanted to confess something to her, but he's like, never mind. And that's the end of that scene. And then Haru tells his friend, yeah, I want to go to the school. And he was like, really? Your grades are low, you're gonna have to do all this and this, study for an hour, exercise, keep your mind off games and study and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then we get a flashback of him thinking about the day before this, where he is in a teacher-parent conference, and he tells his teacher, I want to study for this, test for this new high school. And his teacher tells his mom, your grades are extremely low, it's almost impossible for you to enter. You shouldn't even try. And the mom, it's funny, she's like, yep, you agree, my son's a knucklehead, it won't happen. And I'm like, wow, no, like, faith or love in your son, not even, like, backing him up or supporting him. But then the teacher comes out of nowhere and says, but even though this is reckless and impossible, I like the fact that he's trying, so I'm going to try to help you in any way possible. So he's getting all this advice from his teachers, his friends. His mom is supporting him in her own little way, but she is. And you see her always, she's in this whole episode in the background just crying whenever she sees Haru studying hard and thinking hard and doing his tests. She just makes these weird comments and faces in the back crying, saying, I'm so proud of you. And it's just funny seeing her. Best mom 2018, hands down. Haru's mom. But yeah, we have that happening. And Haru's mom, I guess gotta say, is the best. And then we also have this one scene where Haru is making his game systems cry, because he had having like an inner dialogue between him and the game systems. And they're like, man, you've been cold, play with us. And he's like, sorry guys, I gotta study. He took the whole box of games and he put it outside his room and slammed the door, and he started crying more. And I'm like, really? And it's just hilarious. And yeah, like I said, episode 9 has a lot of stuff, like, dialogue heavy. But it ends with, like, them going to, the school, and they're taking the test. And let me look at my notes real quick. Arno's number is 1940. Haru's school number is 1942. Now these are your school numbers that are given to you when you take the test. You don't put your name, you put the number. And then after the test is done, they will post your number on a bulletin board telling you if you failed or not. And remember, 1940 is Ano, and 1942 is Haru. And in the ending credits, when we got the song and we see everyone having fun and studying, we see the bulletin boards. Sadly, we see 1940. We see Ano's number. But that's like the only number besides 1948 and for 1949 that are up there. Those are the only three numbers. 1942 is not up there, so therefore, by elimination process, Haru did not pass, sadly. And he was putting in a lot of effort, and I loved episode 9 because we had a lot of character development between them. Like really studying and really trying hard and, to improve his life and still, catch up to, why not? And it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. It's sad that he didn't pass, but at the same time, when you think about it, it's kind of realistic because you're in the 8th grade, about to go to the 9th, and then all of a sudden now you want to decide to study hard and pass a super high level test, and it's like, it wouldn't have been realistic if he would have passed. It would have been great, but sadly he didn't pass. But that was episode 9. Now let's move on to episode 10 review of High Schooler. Hiro didn't get to make it to the high school that he wanted to. We learned this. But we also found out that in this episode, which starts off with Hidaka passing by his house, and she's older now. A couple months has passed, they're in high school students now, and her hair is longer. She no longer has short hair. And she passes through his house, and she looks in the window, and she's thinking, I wonder what he's doing right now. He's probably playing video games and maybe studying. Haru's mom pops up again and brings her in the house and just buzzes through his door and says, look, I'll bring you a cutie. And he's like, Mom, what if I was doing something else? Like studying or playing this game or this game or this game? You would have messed up my mood. And I was like, this kid is just funny. But then we notice character development because Haru says something that he would never notice before. He's like, oh, Hidaka, your hair's growing nicely. It's long. And then he walks away and starts playing the game again. And she blushes and she's happy about this. And this is good because this shows character development, that he's more aware now of his surroundings and the people around him. So, because before he wouldn't have noticed something like that. But that was awesome. And we also got dialogue between them that even though he's in high school and he's doing more studying than he is playing games, he also has a part-time job. He works from 4 to 7 making lunch boxes. Now they ain't say AM or PM, but I'm most likely thinking this is AM in the mornings, and then he goes to school afterwards, most likely, and then he has the rest of the day to himself to study and recharge and do whatever. But congrats out to Haru, being, he's in high school in Japan. I believe he's like 14, 15 years old, and the fact that he's made it to a good high school, not the best, but he made it to an okay one, and he's working, that's awesome. So props out to him, kudos. But yeah, this episode was very, very good. This first half of the episode was really good. And then we get to like him going to the arcade system, and he goes there with his friends that are trying to cheer him up because he failed and he doesn't have the courage to speak to Ono yet because of him failing and him not playing games recently because he's been busy studying and working. And he played games a little bit offline or whatever, but like a handheld, but he hasn't really hardcore played like he used to. And he having this dialogue with his two friends, which one is the pretty boy, who I don't know how they became friends, but that was weird, and the blonde-haired kid from last episode, which I think his name is Hide or Hare or Haku, something like that. weird name, but and I'm bad with names anyway, so forgive me. But he goes with those to the arcade, and he bumps into Hidaka, and they start playing, and she's just whipping him. She's whipping him in every game they play. Every games that he's good at, she's whipping him. And he's like, wow. And he realizes, thanks to me studying and working so hard, I have dramatically failed at what I, was good at. But thanks to her actually studying and playing games, she actually got better. So it's like she leveled up a lot, but for every time she leveled up, it's like Haru stepped down twice for every level she gained. So she's whipping him bad. Like, first game they play is Street Fighter. He picks Guy, cause Gail's not in that one, and she picks Dark, Akuma. I mean, and she whips him good. No, if I know, he picks a sumo wrestler. He doesn't pick Gail or Guy. He picks the sumo guy. Hadamaradi, I believe his name is. But yeah, he picks a sumo guy and he loses. They pick Dark Stellar too. He loses horribly. She picks like this machine character and he picks somebody else. They play this other ninja fighting game. She beats him. And it's just, she's beating him horribly. Like, she's schooling him like. And this is a man who's like a game freak. So him being schooled by a newbie technically. I can't say newbie because she's been studying, but technically in like experience of years, how long they've been playing, she's technically a newbie compared to him. But she's beating him badly. And, he feels embarrassed and whatnot and like pitiful. And, he starts to realize, I need to start over again. So he starts training. He's going to arcades, he's playing, he's doing all this stuff. And still can't beat her. So he runs out the arcade screaming and crying. And she realizes, maybe I was a little bit too hard on him. But she's doing this on purpose because she wants Haru to notice her. So she believes in her mind, if she continues to play and get better than him, continues to beat him, he has something to look on for, someone to like compete against, because that's an obstacle in a mountain that he needs to, hurt over. So it's not a bad idea. That's how she's thinking. But let's be real, no one's gonna take Uno's place, especially with how things ended in this episode. Cause she was like, let me, go play one more game before I go home and study. And when she goes to insert her money into machinery to get a money card or a ticket, someone else is there at the same time trying to put her money in. And that's when, as you see in the thumbnail, it's Hidaka and Uno on one side. And that's how the episode ended, episode 10. Which I'm happy because with that ending, in episode 11, we better get the Uno versus Hidaka to see like which one of them is greater. Of course, I'm betting my money on Best Girl Uno, but this is up to the writer perspective, and we don't know what he's gonna really do. And anyone who's a manga reader, please don't, no spoilers. Clarification, I don't mind, but no spoilers. But yeah, this was a very good episode, 9 and 10. Not was just a build-up episode, but it was a very good build-up and character development episode for both Uno and Haru. And then episode 10 was just all around for everybody. We saw how all the characters developed. The chick that looks like a dude in drags with the beat-up teeth. Hidaka, who's getting hit on by guys now because how pretty she is. The other chick that hangs out with them. Haru and his two friends. Oh no. There's so many good character development in this episode and dialogue. It was just really, really good. And we got 2 episodes in one this week, so I have to do another double review on this. I did it 2 weeks ago, so not that I mind. But again, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look this up. But I heard the series was supposed to be only 12 episodes long. So since this is episode 9 and 10, that means 11 and 12 should be the last 2. If my information is correct and what I was told about this being only a 12 episode series. But yeah, loving this series, really great. If you have not watched episode 9 and 10, I advise you to go watch it. If you're ready to go watch it again. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family and all your other loving anime fans, and leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions. I would really like to know what y'all think of this episodes and what you think is going to happen in the next episode, because I'm waiting for that rumble. I want to see Hidaka versus Uno, but we're just gonna have to wait. And you know, there's two spectators there, the pretty boy and the boy with the blonde hair, who are friends with Haru. So can't wait to see what they're gonna expect. You know, cause we're gonna see their expectations and what they're gonna see, but we at the same time are gonna see what's gonna happen between Ono and Hadaka. If they do battle each other, they should. I mean, they own an arcade full of battle games, and they was both, you know, in that epic cliffhanger, both of them trying to get a ticket at the same time. I mean, it would be kind of messed up if we set up episode 11 and we don't get to see that fight, or at least get like the two boys that was there, their, you know, viewpoints on what they saw happened, at least. But I'm hoping they do show it. That'd be awesome. They don't have to make it like a long episode clip on that, you know, because you show us like a minute or two of them fighting, or like the end of it, you know, even a couple of seconds would be good to see who's, you know, on top or whatever, and who's better. But again, we're just gonna have to wait. And yeah, great episode, guys. And like I said, just tell me those comments and opinions. Tell me what you expect to see next episode. Tell me any theories you might have, and yeah, just all around. Let's just start spreading the High School Girl episodes, reviews, and information out, because this is one of those series that, because it's not an action series and it's a romance comedy series, slice life, a lot of people are gonna like underestimate it and not want to watch it. And I have to admit, I'm at fault at that, because I'm the type of person that I don't really like slice of life / comedy in my anime. I'm more of an adventure anime series, action type of guy, but I'm enjoying this a lot. So, but yeah, let's just you know, trying to spread the word of this anime, and hopefully, you know, it gets more recognition. Because right now, I don't see a lot of people talking about it. So, but that's all I have for this one, guys. Again, can't stress enough. Episode 9 and 10, great episodes, great character development, great art and animation and story-wise and all that. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.